I'm Nisal and today we're answering the most Googled questions about university. Okay, after the first question we have, what is the best uni in Australia? Well, it really depends on the course that you're doing and what you're passionate about doing at university. Make sure you go to all the open days. Make sure you are the most informed about what you can expect at university. Talk to the students, talk to the staff. Different unis specialize in different areas. They all have their strengths and weaknesses. Just make sure you know what you're getting into beforehand and make sure you are going to get the best out of your course and have a bright future ahead. I may be a bit biased, but I've enjoyed my experience thoroughly at Western Sydney University. I've joined so many clubs, I've played so many sports. I've enjoyed my degree of Bachelor of Medical Science and I'm finishing it in November this year, which is amazing. And I've just had an amazing experience. So make sure you are well informed before you start your university journey. And come to Western! I don't know. Wow, da. Alright, second question we have. What is university like? University is very interesting. It turned out to be a lot of time management overall and a lot of working with peers, a lot of looking for jobs, a lot of late night studies and exams and assignments and a lot of work really. But it's been an amazing experience because when you're at university, you really have an access to a lot of opportunities. I became a part of a lot of clubs, which really opened so many doors for me. I'm part of the social media team. I became a student ambassador, international student ambassador, got to work with events, and I got access to like a lot of people and a lot of networking opportunities, which was really interesting. On the other hand, I'm studying a Bachelor of Medical Science, so it was very chaotic. Had to study a lot. I'm thankfully at the end of my degree now, but it was a lot of group work, it was a lot of practicals, lab work, but it came with so many interesting opportunities like internships. I got to work in a neuroscience lab. Overall, I think it's just an experience that would benefit anyone really. I've made so many friends that I would consider like to be lifelong friends right now. Yeah, it's just an amazing experience that I think everybody should be a part of. You ask any university students, they'll say that they were the best days of their life. So do with that what you must. Okay, third question. Are higher education expenses tax deductible? I believe it depends on the case. I think it's different for everyone really. I think if you're working in a job that requires a degree, you may be able to get it tax deductible, but it really depends. And I think the best people to contact would be the ATO, so the Australian Taxation Office. Oh yeah, for undergraduate students, there's HEX Help, which is an interest-free loan, which is available for all domestic students. And when you're done with your degree, when you're earning good money, then you can pay it off. And for postgraduate students, they have Fee Help, which is similar to HEX Help. It's also an interest-free loan, so it helps you do your studies now and pay off your tuition fees later. So it's a great help. Woo! We got a fourth one. What are the 4 levels of higher education? What are the 4 levels of higher education? The 4 levels of higher education, I believe they're diploma, and then you move on to a bachelor's, and then you can move on to a master's degree, and I think the highest is a PhD, so a doctorate. So after that, you are a doctor, which is cool. They all kind of feed off into each other. So once you get a diploma, you can go into an undergraduate degree. With an undergraduate degree, you can go into a master's, and with a master's, you can go into a PhD and become a doctor. Diploma is usually offered at colleges. It's offered at the Western Sydney College as well. Undergraduate degree, we have so many like courses that you can go into. And then master's and PhD, I'm pretty sure you can specialize in anything and everything that you may be interested in. When you have a PhD, you will super specifically specialize in something, which is really cool. And you get to go work with the professor, which is really cool. And it's a great way to learn more about the world and really chase your dreams and your passions. All right, we got the final question. You guys are going to be sad to see me go.
Sorry, it won't be the final question because there's 20 questions there. Final question from you.
Final question from me. Well, you guys aren't going to see much more of me anymore because this is the final question. And we have, what is the difference between TAFE and higher education? A lot of people seem to confuse this one. I have as well, so... Someone give me the answers. I'm not very equipped with this knowledge. I said in my head. What is the difference between TAFE and higher education? That is an interesting question. TAFE is also higher education really. And if you get into the specific on what's different about both of them, TAFE is really a more hands-on learning experience, I think. And you can get anything from a certificate degree to a diploma to, I think these days you can get like a bachelor's degree as well. But it really depends on the TAFE and the kind of the course you're looking after. In university, it's more theory and academic study, and you can get anything from a certificate to a diploma to a bachelor's degree, and you can even, if you want, you can progress to even a master's or like a PhD level. And if you really want to, you can even transfer from TAFE to university and continue your study from wherever you stopped. So if you have a diploma from TAFE, you can go into like study a bachelor's at university or kind of progress over that. And make sure to follow those dreams, take care of those passions. You gotta be who you want to be in the future. So good luck and have fun. It's been me, Nisal, with most Googled questions about university at Western Sydney University.
Can I still go to university with a low ATAR? Of course. Most universities offer early entry programs as well as alternative pathway options. Oh no. It's alright, I got it, darling. Our early entry program is called HSC True Award, which is where you can go into university based off of your year 11 and 12 subject results. Some universities might even take in portfolios or work experience, so make sure to reach out to the Future Students team or call Student Services and the university itself to see what can work for you. What gives you extra ATAR points? So we don't actually call them ATAR points, we call them adjustment factors, and you can earn up to 10 through schemes such as subject adjustment factors, which is where you can get extra points if you do really well in a specific subject in the HSC. Regional adjustment factors, which is where if you live in Western Sydney, you may be eligible for extra points. And then there's also the educational access scheme, which is where students who are facing financial hardship or illnesses can gain extra points. We also have one for high-level athletes and performers, which is called the Elite Athletes and Performers Scheme. There's more!
That last one.
Advanced Air Force. There's also the Australian Defence Force scheme, which is for veterans and ADF personnel. International students might also qualify if you live in Western Sydney or you have strong HSC/IB results. Next question, can I go to university if didn't finish year 12? Yes. You can. Yes, lots of universities have pathway programs. One of ours is called the college. So I went to the college and I applied to an extended diploma of design and visual communications, which once completed sent me through into the second year of the bachelor. Similarly, TAFE offers diplomas as well as certificates, which you can use to go into university. Once you've graduated from a diploma at the college though, it's a guaranteed entry into the bachelor, whereas for TAFE, it depends. So if you've been out of school for a few years, universities might also look at your portfolio or your work experience and overall achievements. So I was in Waldorf education throughout my whole schooling, and instead of an ATAR, I had a major project in year 11 and 12, which helped me as well get into the college. And you can use that as an alternative pathway to get into university. Has anyone ever gotten a 100 ATAR? That's not really possible. So no. So no one's ever achieved a 100 ATAR. That's because the ATAR is a rank, not a score. The highest rank that you can possibly get is a 99.95, which means that you performed 99.95% better than any year 12 ATAR students. Okay, last question for me. How does the ATAR work in Australia? That's a very good question. The ATAR compares your performance against all other students in your age group across Australia. You can achieve a number between 0 and 99.95. Not all HSC subjects are weighted equally. Some of the harder ones might give you a little bit of a boost, but remember, your ATAR does not define you. There are still so many other ways that you can get into university. Your ATAR is just a rank. It is not reflective of your worth.
What is a university open day and why should I attend? The university open days are basically your chance to experience what university is like. You can go and explore the facilities, you can go and talk to academics, you can talk to students as well. I've worked a few open days, so I've had like personal conversations with prospective students as well. And it's basically just for you to get a vibe check essentially for what university is like. Okay, so for the next question, how do I choose the right course for me? Okay, so this is a very subjective question. It depends on what is your passion, what you want to do, and what you want out of life. If you want to go into a field that like helps people or something, probably a health science degree would be right for you. But it really depends on what institution, and even like choosing institutions, it depends on which institution is the best in what field you want to pursue. And essentially that degree is the best for you. It's a very subjective answer based on what you want. Next question, Okay, strong blue. How do early entry programs work in Australian universities? So again, a pretty broad question as I can't answer for other Australian universities, although I'm sure they do have their own early entry programs. But here in Western, we have two main ones. They're called the True Reward Scheme which is through the Western Direct portal, and the School Recommendation Scheme, which is through UAC. True Rewards is pretty simple to explain. It basically looks at your year 11 and your year 12 grades and gives you a conditional offer based on the fact that you just finish your high school certificate. As soon as you get that high school certificate, you're basically in uni, and you can have a look at what programs are considered under True Reward. All you have to do is basically apply when you are in year 12 to hear back later on in the year. Okay, next question. Which degree is most in demand in Australia? It really depends. It really depends on quite a lot of things. So obviously we have like seasonal trends and everything. Like currently AI is pretty up, so probably something in computing and everything would be in demand. Obviously healthcare is always in demand as well, because we need people like taking care of our other people essentially. And so there are a few things you could look at. You could look at like the competitive ranking for different programs, like the lowest selection rank. If the lowest selection rank is pretty high up, that means a lot of people are probably applying for that program. And so that's pretty in demand. That's like one indicator of telling how something is in demand. Another is basically you could look at the skill shortage list, which is primarily for international students, but that is also essentially another indicator of what jobs are required in Australia at the moment. And so you could directly correlate them to what degree would be required for that job as well. Okay, next question again. Next and last question. What level is a bachelor's degree? So bachelor's degree is what people usually go into right after their schooling. However, there are other options as well, like a certificate or a diploma, but they usually rank lower in the Australian qualifications framework than a bachelor's degree, which is a level 7. Usually it takes about 3 to 4 years for a bachelor's degree to finish, and after that comes your honors, masters, grad certificates and grad diplomas, which rank around 8 or 9, and then a doctorate is at a level 10.
So first one, can I accept 2 offers at the same time? So you can't accept 2 offers at the same time. You can only get 1 offer per offer round. However, you can actually update your preferences. So if you get an offer for something and you'd like to apply for another program, you can simply update that in your application and potentially receive another offer. Next question, what does full-time uni mean? So here at Western, full-time uni means enrollment of 3 or 4 subjects per teaching period. Part-time uni would be 1 to 2 subjects per teaching period. Generally, this is a good option if you're working a bit more or if you want to take your degree a bit slower, but doing the 3 to 4 subjects will mean that you're speeding through your degree. Next question. How do universities support students? Well, that's a good question because there are so many ways that the university can support students. From the very start, you can be supported through the Student Services Hub here at Western with the Future Students team. And then there's also current student support as well if you're a currently enrolled student. Most universities will also have many academic support options. We have lots of peer programs at Western where you can actually engage with other students at the uni, so they have a bit more experience of what it's like to study. And as well as wellbeing support, so mental health support, counselling, financial, and we also have a range of fun support options as well, so student clubs and societies, and we also have the student rep and student voice opportunities too. Next question. What are the grades in University Australia? So the grades go from a fail, pass, credit, distinction and high distinction, and obviously you always want to aim for the best you can do in a subject, but if you fail, it's generally okay. I would recommend seeking academic support. Some subjects do require certain thresholds to be met if you want to continue your progress throughout the program, so definitely reach out to your academic and the other support services if you think that you need a bit more help getting back on track. And there we go. there's the blooper. Last question. What is the difference between a tutorial and a practical? So a tutorial is more of a classroom-based setting for learning, and it will usually follow a lecture, and there's less people in the classroom, so maybe about 30 people. You've got the teacher there, you're able to ask questions about the subject content for that week. A practical is, as it sounds, a bit more practical, hands-on. You might be in a lab, you might be in a TV studio, you might be in a computer lab, doing different practical activities to engage with your learning and kind of build on the stuff that you've been practicing that week. There's other different types of classes too, so you might have heard of lectures. Lectures are more absorbing the content with one teacher kind of speaking straight to you. You might be in big lecture theatre, feeling very uni student, and those are the different types of classes.
What university scholarships are available in Australia? So there are many scholarships. At Western Sydney University, we have 4 main scholarship categories. So we have the high potential scholarships, our humanitarian scholarships, Indigenous scholarships. These ones can be applied for directly, which is free of charge through Western Sydney University. And we also have our equity scholarships as well, which can be applied for through the UAC application portal, which are also free of charge as well. We also have a whole bunch of external scholarships, which can be applied for through the organisations that are offering the scholarships as well. Does anything in Year 11 count towards ATAR? Not directly, no, for Western. We do offer an early entry scheme called True Rewards. This one you can apply on the basis of your Year 11 results to receive an early offer, with the condition being successful completion of the HSC. So it's not dependent on your ATAR score overall, it's just completion of the HSC itself, and depending on what subjects you're studying in Year 11, you can apply for a whole bunch of different programs as well. What is the highest level of education called? So we have something called a PhD. It's a Doctor of Philosophy. It's an AQF level 10, so under the Australian Qualification Framework.
Feel free to mess up.
Do something.
Okay,
Like I started like.
I'll just drop the sign. Do you have to apply through UAC? It depends on what program you're applying for. Most of our programs can be applied for through the Western Direct portal, which is free of charge. There are a handful that you do have to apply for through UAC, such as speech pathology or paramedicine, or some of our postgraduate psychology degrees as well. How many UAC offers can you get per round? Essentially 1 offer per round. They do have multiple offer rounds throughout the year, which means you can get multiple offers during each round. So when you receive an offer, you can keep it and decide to accept it later on depending on the condition. You can have up to like 3 or 4 offers, and then closer to the start date you can decide which one you want to accept.
I'm finally free! I can go! Woo! See you guys! Wouldn't want to be you guys!
Oh, slow down. Don't. Knock anything over.
You guys want a jacaranda flower?
No.
You have a bit of crumbs on your mustache. I'm gonna make sure.
Guys, wait.
Like a massive bite.